All right. Hello, everybody. And you're going to suck to a very relaxed Tony Iannelli for Backyard Business. And Yuliya, we're at this great place. And say it again. I want to make sure you say the name right.
Elixir Health and Wellness. Yeah.
I love this place. And I want to tell you my experience. So first of all, I love what you've done here. This is
Thank
just
you.
Amazing. It's gorgeous. Did you do all the painting and everything?
Yep. My dad helped me bring it back to its original
I
form
love
and glory.
this place.
Yeah.
I love it. But I just came out of I used to say hyperbolic chamber for your hyperbaric chamber.
Hyperbaric, yeah.
And I feel unbelievable. And it's thanks to you in this incredible place. So I guess I first want to ask you, and I would highly recommend this, by the way, but I first want to ask you how you got into this. And because you've had an interesting path.
Yeah. So thank you for asking. I got into this. I was born in Ukraine. So I already grew up with an Eastern proclivity towards medicines and herbs. So not really medication, but fixing things on the inside out. And then through my, we won a visa in the lottery, came to the US. So I did my schooling here.
So for Americans that don't understand that, you applied and hopefully
it's like a lottery system.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you excited when you got that?
I was 7, so I don't think so, because we didn't speak English.
Oh, well, you have zero trace. I thought you would have grown up in Emmaus, for gosh.
Yeah. So through my upbringing in the US, I kind of saw the more medical side of things. And then I graduated with an international business degree from Hofstra, moved overseas.
Wow.
And then every country I've lived in, I've learned more and more about different types of holistic therapies. I got connected with a hyperbaric doctor when I came back to the US as a part-time job, and then got very interested in what it was. Opportunity came up to open my own center. And I had a stress fracture at the same time I was opening, that the doctor wanted me to get a pin in my hip. And I said, I'm too young for that. I'm going to try my own things first. He said, he was like, I can't force you to get surgery. So I came in, I did red light and hyperbaric. Repeat MRI, completely cleared. Wow. He was so shocked.
I have a good friend who's an orthopedic, he's more of a rehab guy. And I told him I was coming here because, not many people even know what a hyperbaric chamber is. And he was like, man, he said, I work with a lot of elderly patients. I wish I could get them all here.
Yeah.
What are the, what happens and what are the benefits? What just happened to me in there?
So
I had a great sleep, by the way. Ooh, beautiful. Which not everybody can do, right?
No, not everyone can do that. I actually had a client today that she was so anxious before coming in. The extra oxygen, she actually asked to cut the session short. Oh. Because what this does is it increases inflammation to then decrease it. While you're in here, it's the same as sitting at the bottom of a 15-foot swimming pool. And I have an oxygen concentrator, which then raises your oxygen level from 21%, which is what you and I are breathing, to 600%.
Wow.
And at that pressure,
is that I was breathing in there, 600%? Wow.
Yep. So at that pressure, the oxygen's no longer just in your red blood cells, it's also in your plasma. The plasma can penetrate the brain-blood barrier, help you relax, or give you more energy. So depending if your brain is trying to work through problems, or if you maybe didn't have a great night's sleep, it's going to want to sleep. If you are already very high functioning and recovered, then you're actually going to get a significant boost of energy. My
brain is a very busy place, and I've always got something going on.
I'm sure.
So I think my brain was like, oh, wow, this is a wonderful experience.
And you left your phone out here, so you had to relax.
Yeah, well, I purposely, because I know I would have gotten caught up in all that, and I thought, I just want to drift, and which is what I did, which was, and I can't say I had a ton of anxiety, but it's the first time. Yeah. But after about 10 minutes of that, I was in Never Never Land. It was unbelievable. So what can people help themselves with in terms of if they have issues? What is this really super helpful with?
Okay, so the hyperbaric therapy is a really good wellness support program that you can add. Different protocols for different people. So if you're in like a concussion recovery protocol, that is...
I had 7 of those, by the way.
Oh, wow. Okay. So maybe that's why you wanted to sleep. Yeah. People who do come in with concussions, they usually have some kinds of still residual injuries in the brain that the brain will always try to clear.
Wow.
And with that extra oxygen, that's what it could do. So if you're going through any kind of OT, eye therapy, like anything else, by doing this, your recovery time significantly reduces. People who are looking for anti-aging benefits, they can do that as well. People who are looking for, there was a big study out of Tel Aviv that actually showed that the telomeres at the end of your DNA, which they look like, basically, if you think of like the end of a shoelace, that little plastic cap, as you age, it unravels.
Oh, wow.
And that's where you get the symptoms of aging from. The hyperbaric chambers can wrap them back up. Wow. So you internally age backwards. Like the concussion protocol would be 4 to 5 times a week here. So you want those sessions as close together as possible to build that oxygen up in the brain. For more of a wellness protocol, you could do it once a week. You could do it once a month. So it becomes more of a like maintenance protocol for overall health.
You're just starting your connecting, and that's something we want to help you with because it's amazing. But is that an example? Could you be working with local college or high schools relative to people that are concussed and have injuries in terms of rehab? You
can, absolutely. I found that everyone so far has been finding me through word of mouth or through their own research. So if they have maybe a pro athlete in the family, or they are looking at pro athletes, they will find the hyperbaric and then come here alongside their recovery. So
it's just an adjunct.
Yep.
So I guess I want to ask you in the general sense, you're interested in health, and you've done a lot of studying, and you've been Thailand here. I mean, you've been to a lot of places. What in the macro sense, what do you think people can and do or should do or don't do that can maintain health? Like for myself, I'm always weight conscious. I'm conscious of eating. I have a smoothie every morning with both fruits and vegetables in it. Anything I can to be proactive. Right. What are some of the things? I mean, you've been around and you have a different approach, which is I want to hear.
Yeah. So prevention is much easier than fixing a problem. It is much cheaper. The investment that you think you're going to make for preventative healthcare is going to be so much cheaper long term, especially as you start to get up in years and you realize that your body's breaking down at a much faster rate than you would want it to. Basic foundations, like things that you and I were just talking about that you're doing really well, is the good quality sleep. And then specifically with sleep, you want to make sure that you're not scrolling through your phone right before bed.
Yeah. Okay.
Huge issue for most people. Completely blacked out environment, like no TVs, no electronics. If you could, try to charge your phone outside of the bedroom.
Yeah.
If you use it to wake up, you can actually get a little echo, like I don't want to say her name because it'll wake up, an Alexa echo.
Okay. Yeah. That's why she'll want to join in.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I like, but I won't say the word because she'll.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so you could set the alarm on there. If you wake up in the middle of the night, people use their phones to check the time. You could just ask, hey, what time is it?
I do that. Alexa,
and you won't, and then you won't have that blue light affect your sleep
sometimes
quality.
I'll say, Alexa, play sleep music.
Yeah.
And she'll play that. And
exactly.
turns into just a beautiful place.
Yeah. So sleeps are important. Alcohol, reducing that out of your, people think
I'm
that
with you on that.
Yeah. People think that it's a relaxer, and it's really not. It absolutely destroys your immune system and your quality of sleep, sometimes for up to like 2-3 days after you went drinking. Eating healthy.
Sure.
And by healthy, I mean, if it comes in a box, make sure you read the ingredients. Like the FDA just blocked the red dye number 3, which is in everything from medication to baby food. It's already been banned from cosmetics for years. So
in your international travel, that's a good point. I'm sorry, but this really hit me, and it's interesting. In your international travel, is that universal? We tend to have an issue, get a medication. So it's not really about changing you. It's about, hi doc, can you give me something?
Yeah.
And is that different in other countries?
Very different. There are some countries that doctors will actually get paid for the patients that don't come in because they're healthy. So they don't get paid to prescribe. They get paid when the patient comes in for their yearly physical and it's a healthy patient.
Wow.
Also, when you go to a doctor, like I don't have time limits to get people in and out. A lot of doctors, unfortunately, do because of how much paperwork they now have to do. So they can't listen and ask the questions. I've had so many clients come in here that whether it's a concussion or weight loss or whatever it is, not a single doctor has said to them, what do you eat for breakfast? And that is so important because if half of your diet consists of carbohydrates, which are sugars, you're both now inflamed and overweight and taking a drug that's probably going to have some kind of side effect that you need a secondary drug to fix.
I don't know how long this will last for me, but about 2 months ago, it just hit me that I'm not, if it's in a box or if it's, I'm not touching it. So when I'm hungry, it's going to be dates, or which I happen to like, or pineapple, or nuts. And it is surprising how, now, again, I go through cycles, but I'm surprising how much more satisfying relative to cravings. Like you have that, if you tend to eat the right foods, that sort of, if you want to use a term that God gave us, it seems to, I don't know, your body seems to be
There's
good with that.
a much higher nutritional value to it.
Yeah.
So if you have good soil, that's how you pick up the good nutrients in the food. And anything that is higher in fat is going to keep you fuller longer. So just learning the basics of how that works is really important.
So I want to make sure that I don't miss the opportunity to talk about what you're doing. Again, it's adorable place. I mean, I was kidding Ellie and Bailey, and I'm going to stay over here tonight. I'm going to be on the couch, and it's so relaxing.
It's so comfy. You should sit on it.
Yeah,
you might not leave.
I'm afraid to. Put a little TV go. But anyway, so who do you want? Who would you like to see? Who do you want to come here? Who makes you feel like you're making a difference?
Yeah. Very good question, Tony. I really like when, especially the Bethlehem community comes in to see me. Surprisingly, I'm the only center within an hour drive that actually offers these services. So my clients drive from an hour out from the Poconos to do this. Anyone who's really interested in preventative, longevity, higher, like wellness, that's who I love to talk to, because a lot of times those people are already looking for a solution. They already know what they should be doing, but they're missing the foundational piece of it. The concussion clients especially as well, because of how much better they feel and how much quicker they feel better. That makes me really happy to see, because a lot of times like the symptoms will vary between people. So having them come in, and student athletes, I get a lot of those that parents bring them in because they're very concerned. Like for you, multiple concussions is so common for student athletes.
Back when I did it, was you got your bell rung. That was the term. That was it.
Get up, go play.
I remember one time I got concussed after a game, football game, and I asked the coach, "Which is my car?" And my friend he pointed to my car, and they let me drive home. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's changed.
I just kept driving,
so
and somehow I ended up at. I don't think I stopped at any stop signs. I was so I didn't know what was going on. But anyway.
Yeah, of course, because that's a huge problem. So those are probably my two favorite people who are genuinely just interested in longevity and like cellular extension, like biohacking. That's a term that people in the wellness space use. So this could be considered a biohacking center because you're changing your own biology. Or people that have a significant need for any kind of brain health or more energy. When
I think of it, what got me interested, when I think of it, I think about football players and professional athletes, so many of whom have injuries or just, they're working to keep their bodies in perfect shape. And that's what got me interested. So even though that mine was for brain health, was that your idea, by the way, Ellie? You wanted me to get here because of brain health. But because mine was brain health, but did I also get benefits for my entire system?
Yeah, you absolutely did. So on a multiple session protocol, your epigenetics actually change. So your genetics is what you're born with. Your epigenetics is determined by the environment you live in. And there are tens of thousands of them in every single person. And you can switch the switches on and off using hyperbaric oxygen over a long period of time. So things that code for immunity or energy or better gut health, you can turn those things on by helping your cells get more oxygen inside of them so they work more efficiently.
So how often would you like for me to come here for it to be beneficial? Not that you want me to come here at all. But how often should I? What would be a good thing to do now? Monthly?
So monthly
Weekly?
would be too long.
Oh.
If you're looking for an epigenetic change, you want to get at least 10 sessions in over the course of 1 month.
Okay.
And then have it be a protocol.
Wow.
If you just want to slowly integrate this into your health, like once a week, if you have a big show coming up, like the EDC or the Snowball or whatever you have to be really sharp for, you could just do it the day before.
Yeah.
And that will help you perform better on stage. So some of the athletes, like golfers, can come in here to focus better at a tournament. or
I wonder if it would help me out of these crazy yips where I can't swing a club because my brain, I don't know what's going on up there, but I can't.
You could try it.
Yeah,
I mean, I have golfers coming to do it before tournaments.
Before I leave, tell me a little about you, because I think it's really cool that you, for me, my family, we all live in the same area, like within 3 miles of each other for the last 100 years. But so you've had an interesting life. Yeah. First of all, I assume you're still very concerned about do you have family still in Ukraine?
Yeah, most of my family's still in Ukraine. Everyone's involved with the war efforts in some way, whether it's doing volunteer work or driving supplies across the border, or actually volunteering in the volunteer armies doing territorial defense. Over the last when the war first began, I was physically flying military gear over. So the whole entire Lehigh Valley community was so helpful. And me and my dad just asked all of our neighbors and family and friends for donations. People brought money to us, and then we would go to like the Army and Navy stores, tell the guys what we're doing, and then they would give us humongous discounts, like 50% off everything. Yeah. And my dad and I would pack suitcases, 20, 30 suitcases at a time. I would get on an airplane, fly it to the border of Ukraine, and then my aunt would pick them up, drive across the border, which sometimes was like a 3-day wait to cross the border because of the war, and then distribute it directly to people who were volunteering.
So you were there on the front lines, if you will.
No, through the
close.
gear.
I mean, very close is my point.
On the border of Poland and Ukraine.
I know you're giving me the time, but this is really interesting. Do you think Ukraine will the people?
Oh yeah, they'll persevere. There's no way it's home. It's always been home. The border
it almost makes me emotional. So you're saying they're tough and they're not.
Oh, they're so clever. So this is very interesting, actually. Ukrainian drones that have been taking out the Russian military gear are $50 drones you could buy at Toys R Us here. Yeah. And the U.S. government contractors, those same drones are $100,000 each. So they are so innovative, and little kids learn to code to help change these. And like literally everybody is involved in some way and able to just be resourceful with what they have. Even when I was flying supplies over, the guys who were taking things that they needed them for the front lines, if you get 2 knee guards, as soldiers do, they'll say, no, I only shoot on just give me 1 and give 1 to my buddy. So they're like, I'll just take 2 shirts. I don't need any more than that. It was just bare minimum to survive because my friend might need it too. Wow. Yeah. So there's no way people like that could not persevere.
Well, I mean, I could do this for another hour. You're an amazing woman. You really are. And you have a great personality. My staff, everyone, every time I mention, I'm, oh my God, everyone loves you. So
thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you got to try it. I think you're the perfect person to try this on because of what you do, like with your public persona. Yeah. To see and how much you take on as a responsibility to see what the difference is.
No, I'm so chill, and I like to try new things because I like to try, what are the benefits if you don't try it? Because a lot of people said, I can't believe you're doing that, because they don't know.
Because they don't know,
it was great. But I'll see you soon but again, you're seeing a very chill, very relaxed Tony. And I'm curious to see what the next, will I see a little, I know you keep giving me this, but will I see a little change in the next couple of days or?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for how your sleep quality is tonight. Okay. You might get a deeper sleep. Oh, and then if you have paperwork or anything you're doing, usually your brain kind of puts horse blinders on that you could focus a lot better as you move through your day.
If I keep coming, will I look younger and better? Will I get younger and better looking is the question.
You're already good looking, so you'll feel better.
All right, I'll feel better. Well, thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks, you. Tony. Come here. You gotta try this. It's been an amazing experience. And on YouTube, by the way, Bailey and Ellie, you're next. So thanks so much, Backyard Business. We're in this amazing, beautiful place. Talk about a beautiful backyard and what you've done. It's so you, and it's just so beautiful. So
thank you.
Backyard Business, and we'll see you next time.